Dear friends, I am so happy to be here with you again. As we begin our sketching, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for being here with you. This past week, I felt an overwhelming pull to create again with you, to continue our exploration of loose thumbnail sketches together, because I see how many of you want to do this. Before we start, I'd like to mention a wonderful mystery artist in my neighborhood who selflessly shares her rock art with us. They leave beautifully painted rocks like this one every day, bringing joy to children and adults who discover them. Though we have never met, your painted rocks bring so much joy to our community. If you are watching this, thank you for sharing your beautiful art with us. And now let's take a moment to look at our reference photos. I'll post these photos in the comment section for your convenience. Please feel free to use them in your own art. The first image shows a tulip with partially fallen petals, revealing its beautiful inner structures. The second photo captures an open pink-red poppy in all its beauty. And the last image is a Matilija Poppy, a lovely flower that grows in many parts of the world, including here in California. Now I'm going to start laying down rough outlines for our sketches. For those curious about supplies, I use a 3B pencil, a kneaded eraser, and a fine-grained sketchbook that works well with watercolors. If you'd like to learn more about watercolor paper, I have a detailed video from last year where I explored different sketchbooks and their qualities. From my experience with different papers, I find that either cold press or hot pressed paper works well for floral watercolors. You can use rough paper if you prefer, or any watercolor paper you have at home. I know many of us get focused on specific brands, but I want you to let go of these concerns for now. Just work with whatever watercolor paper you have on hand today. Let's talk about colors now. As you may have noticed, I love to be playful and experimental with my color choices. This is actually the part that excites me the most. Over the years, I've collected quite a few colors, and I believe they deserve to shine rather than just sit in a storage container. If you are just beginning to learn about colors, I've created a Watercolor Basics playlist that might help you understand this wonderful medium better. And if you still have questions, feel free to write them in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer you. Let's begin sketching our flowers now. I chose this first tulip for several reasons. It made me pause and truly see it, examining its inner structure and unique character. Even with missing petals, it stands with such confidence, continuing to grow and bring joy to all around it. Sometimes I see myself in this flower. Despite chronic pain, I choose to keep moving forward, to keep receiving the gift of living on this beautiful planet. Dear friends, please remember you should paint whatever flower speaks to your heart today. There is no need to follow exactly what I am doing. Let your creativity guide you to what feels right for you. sketch this poppy, my heart fills with memories of home. Its delicate petals, fading from deep rose to soft white, transport me back to the wild meadows of Kyrgyzstan, where poppies dance freely in the mountain breeze. In my childhood, I would run through these fields feeling free and happy. So, when I will mix the colors in my palette, I will be capturing a piece of my homeland, a fragment of those cherished memories that shaped me who I am. Our third sketch is the Matilija Poppy, a flower that reminds me of sunshine dancing on crisp white paper. These delicate blooms with their tissue paper petals and golden centers grow wild here in California and across the globe. I love how they stand tall and free, their white petals catching the light like nature's own watercolor paper. There is something so beautiful about these flowers, the way they gently sway in the breeze, their petals like delicate butterfly wings. As we sketch and pencil this third flower together, let's embrace its simple beauty. Sometimes the most striking things in nature are also the most straightforward. Just like in watercolor, where leaving spaces untouched can create the most beautiful effects. As we begin painting our flowers in watercolor, I invite you to take a moment to let go of any expectations. I am learning this myself, how often I held myself back from giving my whole self to creating art, from finding joy in those loose brush strokes and spontaneous color flows. And looking at these thumbnail sketches, you'll notice that they aren't exact copies of reality. Instead, they are impressions, how these flowers feel to me at this moment in time, how they speak to my heart. My hope is that you too will find that quiet space within yourself, where creativity flows naturally, where your art becomes a reflection of how you see the world, not how others expect you to see it. Now let's add our pinks to the tulip middle section, keeping the base and the tip lighter, using wet-on-wet technique. Take your time to explore this way of painting. If you're just starting out, this might feel challenging at first. That's perfectly normal. The key is to have less water on your brush than on the paper. That helps you guide the color where you want it to flow. And to those of you who are just beginning your watercolor journey, I want to extend my understanding because those first steps do feel uncertain and sometimes frustrating. Please believe me, my dear friends, that with each painting session, each color exploration, you'll gradually feel more at ease with how the water and pigments flow together. Just as these flowers in our reference photos grow naturally in their own time, your comfort with watercolor techniques will develop at its own perfect pace. Please allow me to share something personal with you. There were times when chronic pain left me confined to bed, unable to walk or move. Those moments were deeply challenging, yet they taught me something valuable about patience and resilience. Now, as my health has stabilized with treatments, I'm learning to embrace a gentler pace. Like these watercolors flowing on paper, I'm allowing life to unfold naturally. Looking at my sketchbook here with its soft color studies and loose brush strokes, I'm reminded that beauty can emerge from taking things slowly and mindfully. I feel immense gratitude for being able to stand firmly on my feet again, to create art and to share these moments with you. These sessions have given my life new meaning and purpose, teaching me to appreciate each small step forward, each brushstroke, each moment of discovery.
For can see the ocean run. Baby, run, run like the river runs. You will become one with the ocean. One day we're gonna meet again. Until then, run like the river runs. I might already spend my last dime. I might become a billionaire. This life is happening in real time, but I will follow you anywhere. Running across the border, following the water, make the most of every notion. Soaring like a kite, high and out of mind. Baby, I can see the ocean run. Baby, run, run like the river runs. You will become one with the ocean. One day we're gonna meet again. Until then, run like the river runs. 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 We all know there will be a last time for everything and everyone.
Now let's create deep greens by mixing Winsor Blue Red shade with yellow deep to create rich variations of greens. With my size 2 liner brush, I'm adding gentle strokes to suggest grasses dancing in the wind. For our flower petals, we'll work mindfully. First, pre-wet the paper. Please take care not to create puddles here. Then let touches of rose red flow onto the damp surface. See how the color moves gently, creating delicate wrinkles and folds. Looking at our color mixes here, you can see how we've created a rich palette using primary or basic colors. The reddish-brown mix we've created works nicely to suggest the delicate stamens in our poppy center. While the paper was still damp around the flower, I added those spontaneous pops of color that brought interest to the painting. I'm really happy with how this poppy emerged on paper. The way the colors blend and flow feels so good. I feel like this small sketch is calling for a larger painting. Perhaps in a future video, we can explore this beautiful flower on a bigger scale. As we paint these 3 flowers today, the graceful tulip, the vibrant pink poppy, and now the pristine Matilija Poppy, we are exploring a deeper journey of letting go, of finding beauty in imperfection, much like my own path of healing and discovery. Just as I learned to adapt to life challenges with my health, these flowers show us how to embrace natural flow and movement. See how in our reference photos each flower has its own character. The tulip with its falling petals still standing proud, the pink poppy glowing against the meadow of wildflowers, and the Matilija Poppy's crisp white petals dancing against the cloudy sky. Our loose sketches and spontaneous color studies here in the sketchbook reflect this freedom, like the wild poppies of my childhood in Kyrgyzstan, or these Matilija poppies growing freely in California. We are learning to let our creativity bloom naturally, without any constraints. As we are finishing our painting session today, looking at these 3 flowers we've created together, each with its own character and story, I want to thank each of you for being here with me today. Your presence, your support, and the beautiful energy you bring to this creative space mean more to me than the words can describe. Just as these wildflowers in our reference photos bloom freely, the delicate pink poppy among its companions, the pristine Matilija Poppy against the cloudy sky, and our graceful tulip, I hope you'll continue to let your creativity blossom naturally and freely. Please remember, every color you choose, every brushstroke you make, every small sketch is part of your unique artistic journey. Please trust yourself, find joy in the process, and let your art unfold as naturally as these flowers do in their meadows. Dear friends, thank you for sharing this creative space with me today. Until we paint together again, please keep creating, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep playing freely with your art.